What is going on, everybody? It is episode 456 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, here again on a Monday with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. It's true. We're back from the weekend. How was yours?
My weekend was good. I had a good weekend this weekend. How you doing? I'm noticing that
Is something wrong?
No, party
again?
count isn't showing up on here. I don't know why party count isn't showing up, but that's very interesting. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if any crisis parties or crisis stuff comes through. But otherwise,
not another whole slew of problems. Hopefully,
well, we'll deal with it tomorrow if need be. So,
is there anything like traumatic over the weekend that happened to you that you need to talk about?
Oh, you mean about? Okay, so yes, actually, no. I went to Target, which is traumatic enough for me. I'm not a big Target goer. Not very often, not unless I absolutely have to. And I went on Sunday night later in the evening, and there was a lady there who was like rapping Cardi B while walking the aisles.
Now describe this scene. Like, what does she look like? What's the?
So she's got the baggy sweatpants on with like the crop top, which I'm so old we used to call them belly shirts. Back in the day.
I like realized that crop tops used to be called belly shirts one day.
Yeah.
I realized that when I was a child, that was my vocabulary for what a crop top was. And then all of a sudden, somewhere in the 2010s, we just retired that phrase.
Yeah, just went away.
But it's like calling it a belly shirt adds to sort of like thinking of it as a risque article of clothing, does it not?
Yeah,
it's you're pointing out what it shows.
Yeah. It was it wasn't considered risque back then, that like when I was growing up, but
I think it was, at least in my upbringing, like the thought of like pointing out that somebody's wearing a belly shirt. It was like very, oh, she's trashy. She's wearing a belly shirt.
My generation, everybody, the ladies just wore them. Girls just wore them. It wasn't considered trashy. It was not. It was just the culture.
But why did we start calling them crop tops?
That probably has something more to do with the marketing of it, right?
Yeah.
Like selling it as belly shirt was probably more difficult.
Well, also crop tops didn't end up showing much when the girls started wearing the mom jeans.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? Because back then they would wear them. So then
it's not a belly shirt anymore if you're not showing your belly.
Yeah. So she was wearing that. She was wearing these baggy sweatpants that she had rolled down, which is very old school. And then she had a crop top, white sneakers, and she was just singing She was rapping Cardi B.
But I want to know what song this was.
I don't know.
Was she going on a little Bodak Yellow?
Yeah, and she's doing the thing with her hands on the cart and everything like that. And I was just like, I texted a friend. I said, "Welcome to hell. Like this is the world we live in now." And I don't go to Target very often. So
I know she didn't have this, but like I'm picturing cornrows.
No.
White girl cornrows.
Her hair was down. I was expecting a bun in this situation.
And I'm picturing long acrylic nails. No hate to those because I've had them too. But
yeah, it was just a very interesting thing to come across because that scene is more.
Oh, what are they called? Hot Cheeto girls. And Cookie Monster pajama pants girls.
Yes, those are
which you're not likely to see in a Target. You see those in Walmart
and the methadone clinic. Yes.
Okay, you took that a little bit. It's a darker place,
but it's true. It's true. But yeah, she was there, and I was just like, this is something I would normally see at a Walmart.
But Target, I mean, our whole culture is degrading, so that even at Target you can't be safe.
Exactly. I think one of my favorite videos that I've seen in the last year, it's like when it's a couple and they're like, when we have company coming over and they replace all of their Walmart garbage bags with Target bags. Because they put Walmart. I do that. I put grocery store bags in the garbage can, and they're like, "Oh, we got to be fancy." So
I'm super fancy. I just get small plastic garbage bags for my small waste.
And I get made fun of because I don't have a garbage bin in my room. I have cardboard boxes that I've turned into garbage bins because they're bigger. Yep.
All right.
Yep. very it's what I was called. It's a very bachelor of you to do that.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and I make no. And the funny thing is, I own.
They hate how little it takes to make us happy.
Exactly. The
men everywhere.
The ladies are they just want to control you and make you get full size garbage.
Make you get
bags.
waste baskets from Hobby Lobby.
Exactly, and a live, laugh, love poster to put above it. And frankly, I will not accept that type of control. You're not running my life. I'm gonna live my life how I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know where the anger came from.
But yeah, but it's not just hot Cheeto. It's Cookie Monster pajamas, or it's any type of Looney Tunes character on the pajamas that you get at Walmart, and they've lived a life. Those ladies have lived a life. So put some respect on their name. If they've turned it around, put some respect on their name. They've lived a life. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. So. The budget has been leaked in a way for the current running budget for Rachel Zegler's Snow White movie, and it is much bigger than they probably needed to spend on a movie like this, and the movie's not even done. The principal photography is finished, but the movie still has to be edited. There will likely be reshoots. It's going to cost a fortune to make this movie that nobody wants to go see because Rachel Zegler is annoying, and even AI is getting in on this because we're seeing these crazy AI videos that are just like, look, it's popular right now to hate on Rachel Zegler. We're going to make a video hating on Rachel Zegler. We're humans that hate on Rachel Zegler. We're the real
I claim
people.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hated Rachel Zegler before AI made it cool.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fact that the Russell Brand story continues to blow up. We are now seeing reports that it is possible, due to new laws being enacted in the UK next month, it is possible that Rumble executives could be arrested for not demonetizing Russell Brand. It's absolutely insane. I don't think any rational person with half a brain can look at this any longer and think that this is not a coordinated media campaign to destroy this dude. So we are going to talk about that. We're going to discuss Cast Media, which was, it has been leaked recently that they have been swindling clients out of money.
Including us.
Yes, yeah, no, yeah. Including Theo Vaughn, who did like a 10-minute video breaking down the whole thing. So we're going to get into that. We are also going to talk about Traylor and the Psy-Op going on right now, where, in my humble opinion, the NFL is now running all of these Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stories because they want to get even a larger female demographic. They're like, look, if Taylor Swift can sell like $1 gazillion worth of tickets to go see a movie, what can we do here at the NFL to bleed our customers dry even further? So we're going to talk about that because they had a story going out over the weekend. So if you're ready, Mary, we will just get right into it. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's go ahead and do it then, shall we? All right, first things first, if you want some bad news to start your week, The Office looks to be having a reboot underway. Now, this is not the crappy female-led Australian version that's still getting made.
But there's an American reboot getting made. Why?
It says they reported Monday the original showrunner, Greg Daniels, is set to do a reboot of the classic comedy. Further details aren't known at this time. There doesn't need to be further details. What you need to know is that it will not be good.
I mean, the only detail I would be interested in is, are they bringing back the original cast members? That would be
a continuation.
Yeah, that would be slightly less bad than if they're just recasting the whole thing.
I disagree. I think that actually makes it worse because then you see when the content is now modern and you have to see the same performances but with a modern lens, it's worse.
Yeah, like there was before a way to satirize office like work culture in a way that was politically incorrect and resonated with people's real life experiences. And now the way that people interact with like HR managers and you know,
and I saw
they've poisoned the water.
I saw Amala had a thing that said, "Please don't let it be woke. Please don't let it be woke." I'm like, I was like, the fact that you're even asking that question is sad because there's no way it's not
like
awful.
Woke isn't even like something that they consciously inject into things now. It's just what everyone knows.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like in the 2000s, obviously I was a kid watching The Office, so I didn't understand a lot of the jokes.
Andrina says, isn't it going to have a female lead? The female lead is the Australian version. Though I wouldn't be surprised if they did it here. It'll be Michaela Scott, and it'll be awful.
I hope they don't do that. But also, the ratings went down immediately when Michael Scott was replaced with a new manager in his role. But I just think, like, workplace culture has changed since the 2000s.
It'll be about intimacy coordinators in Hollywood. That's what they should make a show about. They should make a version of The Office about intimacy coordinators. But even when
Hollywood satirizes itself, they can't do that right.
No, I give them a little bit of leeway. Sometimes I point out that I'm like, look, when Hollywood makes these one-dimensional versions of your middle America person where they're a hick or they're stupid or dumb, I do remember that when they do satirize actors, they tend to make them vapid and stupid. So they do take shots at themselves from time to time. It's just that those stories don't occupy that much of the space. Mm-hmm. The Bubble did it okay. Even if the story wasn't good, it was kind of funny the way that they were over the top about how awful the actors are.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah. It shows that they're vapid and they're stupid, which we already know. But what about the fact that they're evil?
They are evil.
Yeah, they're not going to address that.
I like the idea of them doing an intimacy coordinator version of The Office, because I just saw this story today about Michael Caine, things like, back when I was young, back in World War II, we just acted and we just did the scene and moved on with our days. And it's like, the sad thing is that should be the way it is, but it's just not.
I don't think that should be the way it is. I think that there should be no
move on
sex
with your day.
Scenes.
Yeah, well, I think that they should just do the sex scenes, and I asked them why. Actually, because over the weekend I watched. I was going to talk about this at the end, so I watched The Continental, and there's just a needless sex scene in the first 2 minutes of it. Pointless, didn't need to be
just
there.
Like every other news show these days.
And that one is more like, okay, so there's two, right? So in the opening scene, you see this character, and he's entering this the nightclub. And so what you do is you see simulated sex through the pane of like frosted window, like glass windows. Okay. So you don't really see that. I'm like, okay, they don't actually show it when he enters the room, whatever. But then 10 minutes later, the main female character, who is insufferable, all of the main characters are fine. The one portrayed by Mel Gibson is fine. The one portrayed by Colin Whittle is annoying. He plays young Winston. He's fine, but one-dimensional and not nearly as good of an actor as Ian McShane. But the new character they introduced, this female detective, is just insufferable. And of course, she's having sex with her superior, and they have to show you the sex scene right away. And I'm like, this doesn't need to be in a John Wick movie. It never needed to be in a John Wick, show.
Were there sex scenes in any of the John Wick movies?
No, not that. There's some like implied nudity in the. I don't know about the fourth one, but in the second one, there's some implied nudity when he has to kill the guy's sister, and then she dies. She ends up not needing to be killed. Like she's dead in like a hot tub.
Okay.
And you see some implied nudity, but it's not the point, right? The point is I said the same thing was going to happen. I said, when they made this into a TV show, I said, because it's not a movie and they're not going to make it action the whole time, we're going to get a bunch of useless side characters. And the show just has so many characters that you don't give a crap about. Like you don't like all of it. And then the one
this is enforced minimums.
And the one character that I liked ends up, spoiler alert, like Winston's brother, he just, by the end of the first episode, pointless. He, and also like,
Are you going to stick with this show?
It's only 3 episodes and they're an hour and a half long. So it's kind of like 3 mini movies.
Ugh, that's even worse.
It's kind of so there was basically 2 really good action scenes one at the beginning and one at the end. Now, if this was an hour or 50 minutes and you put these 2 long, really good action scenes at the beginning and the end, it might have worked. But the middle is just so boring and so stupid.
Yeah.
And it didn't need to be there. That's not what John Wick is, and it doesn't really work without Keanu Reeves. I did, however, guys, if you're looking for a recommendation, there was a movie I got to see over the weekend called Hypnotic, starring Ben Affleck and Alicia Braga and William Fichtner, that I actually really, really liked. It's a Robert Rodriguez movie, and I did not know that he had made this film, but it was one of those movies where It could have done with a rewrite. It's fairly generic in a way. It's basically they're what are called hypnotics, which means that if you've ever seen anybody here who read Jessica Jones comics or watched the Jessica Jones Marvel TV show, hypnotics are basically like Kilgrave, meaning that they can like get you to do whatever they want just by putting the idea in your head. Right.
Okay.
And the idea is kind of basic. The script could have done with some rewrites. Like the name of the government program is The Division. And it just reeks of first draftness on something like that. But it was like weirdly paced in this way that like there's a lot of like exposition, but the score is so tense the whole time that you feel like it's moving faster than it is, and it actually works really, really well. And apparently Rodriguez's whole family, because his whole family works in the industry, like he edited the movie, him and his son, his daughter did the score, which I ended up really liking in this movie. The set design was really, really good, which plays an important part of what are called constructs in the film, meaning like the way that a hypnotic will put an idea into your head, constructs an image of what's going on around you. So it makes sense that the sets are designed really, really well. And it felt like without the score, it would have felt meandering, but Robert Rodriguez does such a good job of directing tense scenes between two characters that there's this amazing scene where essentially, and I'm not going to give away the twist or any of the endings or anything like that, but like he's like the main bad guy is like getting Ben Affleck's character, his name's Rourke, to like grab a knife to like kill this woman that he's with. And the whole scene is tensely directed where it's like he's like hiding the knife behind her, and as she moves he's hiding it from view, and it's just expertly directed in there. And I really, really enjoyed it. It is a little bit bland. I thought that they
Is this in theaters?
No, so it was in theaters and we didn't go. Like I don't remember. Like I think nobody really knew that this thing was coming out. But it was fun. Like most people hated it. Like all the reviews that I saw for it were almost unanimously bad. And I will say that Affleck, he kind of phones it in, but Affleck phoning a performance in to me is fine as the lead. I think that William Fichtner does a really, really good job. I think Braga does a really, really good job. But it's on Peacock, so if you're one of like the 6 people in the world besides me who has Peacock, you could go ahead and check it out. The other big plus, it's only an hour and a half. So for a full movie to then get you in, get you out, and be done in an hour and a half. And the first half of the movie, which I felt like was heavily exposition, has this great score that keeps it moving and makes it feel tense. And then when you get the big twist in the middle of what's actually going on, the pace picks up and it goes really, really well.
No episode of a show should be an hour and a half long.
Well, this is a movie. Not
and I'm talking about the Continental.
Yeah, about the Continental. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good length for a movie.
Yeah, it was great. And like there's okay, so there was another thing. So the bad guy in the show, which is who they're chasing at the beginning, it's William Fichtner's character. Like they did this thing where I was just like, why don't they give this guy like a more distinct wardrobe? Like I was like, he's wearing like a plain suit with a white shirt and a black tie and like an overcoat. And like all they needed to do was give this guy like a red tie. And it would I felt like it would stick out and make his character more noticeable. It actually ends up playing into the thing later, and he has a red tie later in the movie, and it actually becomes part of the script to make this character and all of the other hypnotics more easily viewed by what they're wearing. So it actually ended up being really, really good. So if you are a fan of Robert Rodriguez, I would recommend checking it out, given that it is already on streaming. If you have Peacock, it's good. I really enjoyed it, and though a lot of people didn't. The twist probably won't shock a lot of people, but I had a good time with it. Now, if I had been to the theater and seen it, I don't know. Like given how much you pay for a movie ticket and everything.
It was in theaters in the summer, right?
I believe right at the beginning of summer,
remember
right?
that.
So like I might have felt completely different, right? Like the reveal I liked a lot, but I think a lot of people are going to end up I think a lot of people dislike the reveal. They think I saw in the comments, I think somebody said that might have said that if he's talking about this movie, they're talking about the reveal it derailed the film. I didn't feel that way. I felt like it shifted the focus, but I really, really enjoyed it. So I think it's worth checking out. If you've got some time free next weekend, go ahead and check it out. So, all right. Also, guys, it's the end of an era. Mm-hmm. It's the end of an era. Netflix is mailing its final red envelope this week. That's very, very sad. It says it's sad when you get to the end because it's been a big part of all of our lives for so long. Said Hank.
Was it?
Yeah. It says Hank Briegman, the general manager of Netflix's DVD division. Talk about like a weird position.
Is he
to
getting
have.
fired?
Is that guy getting laid off, or does this guy move to the postage division of Netflix? Like, where does this guy end up
They're
going?
gonna send him to the back rooms.
Yeah, this guy's going to the mail room. But everything runs its cycle. We had a great 25-year run and changed the entertainment industry, the way people viewed movies at home. Well, this guy, we can blame this guy for all the problems with streaming and residuals and everything there.
I still think Redbox should have been able to acquire
He
this.
tried to. He tried to buy it. They wouldn't let him.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So, all right. But
the age of physical media
Did you
is
ever?
over.
No, that's the thing. The age of physical media shouldn't end.
I know, but here we are.
If you guys are smart, you guys would be buying physical media.
I think I got my dad to rent the DVD of the Justin Bieber documentary in 2010.
Which one?
It was like the first one he did.
The what was it called?
Never Say Never?
Okay. The one where it's like
very innovative title.
Yes. Which was I think that was a song he made that was on like the Karate Kid soundtrack. I remember that because that movie was abhorrent.
I liked that movie.
Mary liked it
because I was a child.
There's a movie
I also
Mary
liked
liked.
the original Karate Kid movies.
Yeah, well,
the first two.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Did you watch Cobra Kai? Mm-hmm. Cobra Kai's good.
It was good. I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But that's their fault, not mine.
Yep. So, yeah, you guys, unfortunately, no more DVD by mail service. It's very, very sad. Speaking of things
the smallest violin is, yeah.
Yep. But you should be buying physical media. Like, one of the things that I've slacked on since, like, being out here is, like, I don't have my DVD collection or my Blu-ray collection here. Therefore, I haven't been buying anything. It's almost like by being separated from what I have, I'm not investing in new stuff.
If you think that society is going to collapse soon and you think somehow you'll be able to use a DVD player, then that's important.
Well, I mean, most people don't care about society. Don't think it's about society collapsing.
I know.
They're mad that the movies are getting edited and things are being changed.
I'm thinking a little farther ahead.
Eventually. All right, and apparently Usher has been hired to do the Super Bowl halftime show. How do you feel about this?
Last year?
It was last year.
Was this like Shakira?
That was the year before.
Or no, the year before that.
Last year was like Eminem, Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
It was like the aging rappers and people from my generation.
Yeah, I don't watch the Super Bowl, so I don't particularly care. But maybe he'll bring Keke Palmer on stage
and do the it becomes
a lap dance.
It becomes an Usher is a menace like ad where he's just like what he does.
He'll bring Winnie Harlow.
He brings
Keke
all
Palmer.
of the NFL wives on stage and tries to tempt them with a lap dance.
I don't even know who's playing. He
can get
who is.
It's a little early to know, Mary.
I don't know anything about football.
So,
this will come out later in the show, but I don't know anything about football, and I don't care to.
So,
who cares about Usher anymore?
Keke Palmer cares about Usher.
You're like a lot of people.
People still care about Usher. Apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. They couldn't get Taylor Swift to do it.
No,
they couldn't get Lizzo to do it because of her banana allegations.
The banana bowl.
Usher was they scraped the bottom of the barrel.
Well, a lot of people thought they were going to end up doing like a boy band reunion.
They got NSYNC back together for the VMAs, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep.
There's no reunion tour.
I think there is. I think they're going back out on the road.
Not.
Oh wait, is it not?
Yeah, they've been not going to do that.
People I know have been sharing like their Instagrams and TikToks.
I'm gonna drop this.
Rihanna was 2023.
This
Rihanna
Easter
was
egg that doesn't make me cool at all. My aunt dated a member of NSYNC.
Do you want to tell us about that?
I don't even remember which one it was.
I forgot about this story.
I do not even remember which member it was.
I don't know their names other than Lance Bass, JC, whatever, and Justin Timberlake. That's all I know.
It was not Justin Timberlake. That's all I know. And I think it was shortly before they were very famous, but she did, meet the rest of them, I believe, and they were like practicing together.
Right. So you have family that went on Oprah. You have a family member that dated Usher, or I'm sorry, that dated a
not
member of
Usher.
NSYNC.
Yes.
You really are a Fed. Or
Why would that make me a
or
Fed,
a
though?
CIA
It's like
plant?
the collection of the most uninteresting facts.
Justin, okay, Andrina comes in the chat with the save. She says, Justin, JC, Joey, Chris, and Lance. It was probably be Chris
I'll
because
have
he's the
to
only one I
ask
haven't
her.
heard.
I don't know. I could call her right now and ask her on air, but that would be rude,
You
right?
should call her and ask.
Who knows? I'll figure it out. I'll ask her.
And some good news or bad news, depending on how you feel about it. The writer's strike looks like it is coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. They have tentatively agreed on a course of actions. They are not on a course of action. They are now waiting for the union to vote and ratify this deal. The problem is, Mary, is that they're still going to be on strike because they've been encouraged to stay on strike and continue to picket with SAG.
Wait, okay. It's not a real end to the strike.
Not officially. So what basically they have suspended picketing for the writers, but they're allowed to continue to picket for SAG.
Okay.
So it's not even really an end.
Okay. I guess I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the details. None of us know any of the details of the agreement.
We'll know soon enough once they actually get it voted on and things come.
Why
to
are they
pass.
mentioning that Yom Kippur?
I know.
Their deadline.
Yeah.
Why? That's so random.
Yeah, they mentioned that in the article. This is on the eve of Yom Kippur.
Okay.
That it ended. So
Whatever.
it says, so we have to wait and figure out whether they ended up getting everything they wanted. I know that what they
hope they
basically
didn't.
the AMTP or whatever, like they said, like this is our last and best offer. Like they're basically
They
like,
have all the power.
like this is all you're getting. Like I wonder what would happen if the studios just decided, they said, look, we're going non-union. We're going to hire people that don't want to,
they would have no choice but to relent at that
so?
point. Yeah. I think
enough
they need
people
to just throw their weight.
So basically they'd have to hire enough non-union people to do it, and then eventually people needing work would be like, look, fine, I'll quit.
They'll
the union and
secede
come
from
join.
the union.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to see. The strike has gone on for over 140 days, which is crazy.
Well, I hope it goes on longer.
Crazy. So, all right, tell me what's going on here with this guy.
Yeah, somewhat related to the strikes and the threat of AI, right? This YouTuber named Kwebbelkop, I've heard of him before. He's mainly a gaming streamer. He replaced himself with an AI model in the past. It looked
How
more
long
like
ago?
I don't know. It was like earlier this year. And he was replaced with this avatar that doesn't look human. It was more like a Bitmoji character, or like Memoji, if you've heard of that one. His fans hated it. They responded very negatively to this. So he decided to take it a step further, and he's replaced himself with a photorealistic version of himself to be in his streams for him. And if we watch this video,
Okay. The whole thing.
this whole thing is his AI clone.
This right here.
Yes.
Okay, let's watch
Yeah.
it.
11 years ago, I started my YouTube journey. My one and only goal was to entertain as many people as possible,
That's not really him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all fake.
to share my joy with the world,
We're watching like a fairly low resolution. Might be why it's less obvious.
Yeah.
form new friendships. I had a lot of fun, from playing with my best friends to meeting completely new strangers and having a blast. And all of this while playing video games every single day. This was an absolute dream of mine. I would have never imagined anything.
It's
better
raising
than
its
this, I
eyebrows and
wouldn't
blinking
trade
too
this
much.
in
Yeah, the eyebrows are the only, like the blinking is the only thing that's.
And
giving it
yes, I
away.
will refer to it as
anything in the
it.
world. But even a dream job can't stop me from growing up and growing older. And this made me realize this is not something I'll be
It's always a double blink.
able to do for the rest of my life. There will always be a point where I'll end up quitting. That might be now, that might be 10 years from now, that might be 50 years from now. So I decided to clone myself. I decided to make a virtual version of Kwebbelkop. However, I made a mistake. I thought that Kwebbelkop AI would be accepted and embraced. I thought people would love Kwebbelkop AI as much as I do, both for its exciting technology and its unbound creative potential.
It looks
and a lot
awful.
of you did. A lot of you loved it because you understood the vision and you saw where this could potentially go. But there was also a counter movement, a group of people who disliked everything AI stands for, and who really
They were
honed
AI
in on the
phobic.
quality of the AI, who took every chance to criticize and judge my creativity, my team's hard work, and our story storytelling. People
Wow,
who thought I was
wow.
personally contributing to the end of content creation merely by working on this project. One of the arguments I kept hearing over and over was that they wanted to see me, the real me. But I kept thinking, this is the real me. This is my creativity led by me. This is the story I want to share.
I mean, he has a fundamental lack of understanding of how people connect with people on the internet there.
And fundamental lack of understanding of why he gained an audience in the first place as well.
Or I should
But
say
he
not
does this big
not a
twist.
misunderstanding, but like
Yeah.
he's being dishonest.
Yeah, he does the big reveal at the end where he's like, and unbeknownst to you, this entire video was made by my realistic AI clone. And that's the solution to the problem.
Yeah. I tricked you.
Yeah, you didn't want the AI clone at first, but I made it even creepier. Do you like it now? Like, I don't know.
Now you can never trust yourself when you're
As
around
if
me.
like streaming yourself playing video games were too much effort in the first place.
In the chat, assuming this is what he's talking about, he says this guy broke up with his girlfriend to get with a 12-year-old he met via grooming.
What?
Then went silent for a few years, and now he's back.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Is that true?
I didn't hear anything about that.
That's crazy. Let's should we?
Gross if true. I guess when you get canceled now for justifiable reasons, you can just replace yourself with an AI clone.
So he's just allowed to be back, I guess.
And yeah, in the same breath, the YouTube CEO says Russell Brand has been demonetized for being damaging to the creator ecosystem.
Funny how
Meanwhile, I guess this guy is allowed to continue making money on the platform with videos that aren't even of him.
Yeah.
If that's true, wow, we're really
I
doomed.
do like I'm like double checking to see if
There's not really a way we can verify that.
I can't really verify that, assuming that that's who he's talking about. But yeah, is that what you're talking about? Like, again, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's actually who he's talking about. If that's what he's talking about, I'm not seeing anything here about that.
Okay.
So we could be.
I don't see any comments about it either.
No, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about that on here.
Okay.
But yeah, so can't say one way or the other if that's true. But if we're talking about what he's creating here, he says it's like to avoid burnout, right? Which I get. Like I get the idea of wanting to avoid getting burnt out, but you're still going to end up going through just as much work. It's going to take just as much work to create it. You're just not going to be in front of the camera as much.
Right. I mean, I guess it would make more sense if it were AI videos in addition to real videos of him.
Yeah.
But everyone can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like, the technology isn't advanced enough to the point where it doesn't make a difference.
Somehow
and he's like, you know, you guys wanted to see the real me. And 30 seconds later, he's like, so I made another fake me. Are you happy now? I think this is gonna fail if it hasn't failed already.
What's funny is I would have thought that that this would have worked better for the guys than the girls, but the girls seem to be thriving with AI for their more
maybe for the girls it's like part
for
of
the spicy
the appeal.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the girls, it's more so chatbots and images, like still images, but doing this for like long form content is a whole different endeavor.
Yeah.
It looks awful though.
It's very creepy looking.
But I will admit I didn't realize or I guess I wouldn't have realized it was AI if the caption didn't reveal it, you know?
Yeah. You don't think the eyes would have given it away if you'd watched closely enough?
Yeah, I would have believed it was like a deep fake, like partly real.
I also think it would be harder to fool the people that are like his hardcore fans, because if you're a hardcore fan, you watch the content regularly, you're more in tune to the small things being off.
That's the point. You're watching for someone's real personality, not an amalgamation of it.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
All right. So who is this lady? She was from.
You don't remember her?
She's from.
She played
Glass
Whiskey.
Onion in Glass Onion, right?
Whiskey,
she was Dave Bautista's.
The red pill GF.
She's dating
Glass
Pete Davidson.
Onion. Madeline Klein is Pete Davidson's newest girlfriend, and everyone is like just aghast once more that he keeps pulling these hot women. And I
don't
saw
know why.
this tweet that says since he broke up with Cassie David, who is Larry David's daughter, in 2018, he's dated Ariana Grande, Kate Beckinsale, Margaret Qualley, Kaya Gerber, Phoebe Dinivore, I've never even heard of some of these, Kim Kardashian, Emily Ratatouille, Chase Sui Wonders, and now Madeline Klein. And it's not really anything about him, I think, that appeals to these women. I think women just see that other women like Pete Davidson and they copy what other females are doing.
So you think it's literally just a social
It's a
contagion.
feedback loop.
It's a social contagion where they're like, I don't really find him attractive.
It's
but
also
other
good
women
for
are
your
doing
career to date Pete Davidson.
It. Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with him.
That's got to be kind of lonely and sad for him.
Yeah, I guess that's why he's such an unstable individual.
I guess
He just seems like a nightmare to be around in general.
I guess you just kind of have to trick yourself into thinking it's not like that. If you're, I mean, I don't know about that. Like, we don't know the dude. For all we know, the dude's the nicest guy on earth.
No,
and the
I don't
ladies
think
actually like
somebody
him.
who trashes his trailer on the set of his own TV show is really that likable.
Or drives his car into the house, into somebody's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. All right. What would you like to see, Mary? Would you like to see cute of the day or cringe of the day?
I want to see cute
right.
first.
All right, I got a couple of cute of the days here. Here we go. This one first from Seb on Twitter. Says, for PCC pets, the best reason to see the in-laws. This is Cleo. She's new and as soft as she looks, but trusts no one but the dog.
Burnt toast. So cute.
That is very cute.
That looks like a soft cat.
Very soft. All right, let's do one more here. This one's from Aaron Williams on Twitter. Says, this is my best friend Buddy. She's a Shiba Husky. He showed up crying at our door at 4 a.m. while I was playing World of Warcraft earlier this year. We were able to find his owners who asked us to take him in. We were much obliged, and he's now healthy, almost a year old. Look at that guy.
That story is really sad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that the dog's in a better home now.
Very cute.
Cute dog.
Very cute. All right, we've also got cringe of the day here.
This one, can you read the tweet?
It says, you cannot convince me pretty privilege is real when this happens every day. Sometimes you really wish you were mid because of the safety boost it provides. She's literally saying that it's hard to be hot because you're going to get SA'd anytime you go out.
Is this true? I've been told otherwise.
Inquiring minds need to know.
POV, you're a girl pumping gas alone.
She needs to get off of the meds.
Yeah, she looks like she's tweaking out. Maybe that's why people keep staring.
She's
also like the amount of projection it takes. That guy like paused for a second before turning his car, and she's like, he was eyeing me. He was ogling me.
There could be like
He's
thousands.
A threat.
It's narcissism. It's pure narcissism.
And to record this whole thing.
Yeah, or maybe he's turning because he's like, why does this lady have a huge tripod set up next to her car while she films a video of herself pumping gas with her legs that look like number 2 pencils?
Oh, okay.
That's not a thigh gap. That's a thigh freaking... That's enormous.
That's a whole region.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just embarrassing behavior.
That is a thigh gap as big as Madonna's tooth gap used to be. That is gigantic.
Get well soon. I thought the feminists always said like how you look has nothing to do with whether or not you're gonna get SA'd. Like how women dress has nothing to do with.
Is that what they said? I thought the idea was that
SA'd.
it shouldn't have anything to do with
I
it
think
because you should be allowed to dress however you want.
That's what she's doing here, clearly.
I think she overdid the Adderall just a little bit.
The paranoia is setting in.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think that this way of dressing is even...
Thigh Canyon. Thank you, guys. I like Thigh Canyon. I like Thigh Canyon. Thigh Valley. There's a lot of different thigh definitions here, but yeah.
I don't even think this outfit is cute. Like, you're literally just wearing underwear.
Yeah. Like, she just looks paranoid and creeped out because she's on drugs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but it looks that way to me.
Yeah.
And again, like, so she's talking about this. It's the anxious like.
Yeah, she's tweaking.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know,
I'm worried about women.
she does look like her legs look like chopsticks. You know, it is what it is. All right, guys, before we get started, would you hit the like button on this video? Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Remember, all Super Chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion. We will read them right then and there, and then we will get right back on topic. Also, please, would you hit the notification bell so that people can be, notified anytime we go live or we post a new video. Also, share the video with your friends. I'm mumbling today. All right, Mary, tell us what's going on with Rachel Zegler.
The numbers are in, guys. I think it's going to be a superhuman feat if they are able to break even on this live-action Snow White movie. Forbes has now reported that the initial costs for Snow White came in at $209.3 million. That
is before post-production.
Yeah,
and
before that.
Yep, and before marketing.
Before reshoots and before marketing. So it's looking like they're gonna need to make a lot of money at the box office to break even, and I don't think it's likely.
No. So they got a $41.1 million subsidy from the UK government. I want to know what it is.
Since they're filming in the UK, are they subject to the SAG strike?
They can't work because they're still American Union.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is like a new propaganda tool that all of these companies are using, where it's like they're sharing with you these subsidies they get so that they can make the budget seem smaller.
Or they're subtracting it.
Yeah, they're subtracting it from the budget.
And also Disney puts all of their movie production costs into one when they report on their filings so that we can't see
exactly
how much all of these things cost. So they're hiding it from us.
They're very good
from
at
their
hiding
investors.
Yep.
And why I said that is because I thought a lot of productions were moving to the UK during the strike so that they can continue filming.
Well, they're going to be doing that soon. So what's funny is I thought Disney would, like, if any company could have gotten some waivers, it would have been Disney. But Disney's like such a big part of the problem.
I guess
that they would have, like, Disney could have maybe basically forced through some waivers, but that would never work because Disney is considered such a big part of the problem as far as the residuals go and as far as the unions go. But yeah, so $209 million. Now, I think that they're off. I think that by the time they get done with marketing and everything, so they said that minus the $41 million comes to like $168 million. I would say that a conservative number, and I do mean a conservative number, that it will end closer to $200 million. Then you add the times 1.5 for marketing, which puts it closer to $300 million, which means it'll have to make $600 million to break even. But I think that's a lot less likely given between the strike, which has kept things off the books, which is going to add every day. You're spending more and more money that you're not working. By the time it's done, I'd imagine the budget will end up looking closer to $250 million plus marketing, which is about $375 million, which means if you times it by 2 to get you have to split it with the theaters, you get about 50% of the income. It means they have to make about $750 million to even sniff a profit on this movie. The Little Mermaid made like $568 million, and that's not even getting the backlash that this movie seems to be getting.
Did The Little Mermaid lose money?
Yes, it did.
Okay, because the media portrayed it as this big success.
No, it lost money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead, they post about the social media reactions.
Yeah,
and the social media hype and the press hype.
Well, to them, I think they believe that.
But it's just loss after loss.
The social, they get a lot of social victories in this by doing it.
Rachel Zegler, there's like a lot of conversation, obviously, about how bad Rachel Zegler is for their PR here. But she's actually relatively inconsequential. Because if you look at how Halle Bailey handled the conversation about race swaps and modern reimagining of Disney fairy tales, she did it fairly well. Like, she dodged the controversial questions, and she was magnanimous, and she is media trained. She did a good job with that. But still, the movie lost money because not enough people care about it.
Yep.
And it's they're kind of coping because it's popular on streaming, even while people are dumping their Disney Plus subscriptions en masse. I just don't see Snow White succeeding, and I'm happy about that.
So they're
also saying it adds to the cost that they were partly driven by the pandemic causing delays to production.
Exactly. And now they're delayed again by the strike.
Again.
And if you saw what that did to Mission Impossible, pushing it to be one of the most expensive movies ever made, there's no way this movie ends up making money. At least I don't see. There would have to be a drastic change in formula. And it's not even just the Rachel Zegler stuff. It's the fact that Rachel Zegler stuff happened on top of the changing of the Seven Dwarfs. Like they made a whole bunch of mistakes all at once that are keeping this film from getting anywhere near profitability. $750 million is a lot to make these days. Mm-hmm. If The Little Mermaid can't make it, I don't think that Snow White can make it, not with the press that she's got. Now, I could be wrong.
If I were her, this would be a huge dark cloud over my life.
Yeah.
Because she got cast when she was only 17, and now she's 22. And the bad press is just following her. If I were in her position, I probably would not be doing it any favors either.
Yeah.
You know?
And I wonder, I
would want to just stop talking about it forever.
We'll have to
forget it ever happened.
One way we can check to see if she ends up being a problem for this is we'll have to see what happens to the box office to the Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of snarky posts like, this movie is going to make so much money and all the Rachel Zegler haters are going to be so mad about it.
Well, they would be. I mean, it's a fair thing to ask, right? Like if that movie does very, very well. Now, granted, she hasn't been out here trashing the Hunger Games.
It doesn't seem like she's really gotten any roles in original ideas.
Yeah.
She was in the reimagined West Side Story and the reimagined Hunger Games prequel and the reimagined Snow White. But like what roles is she getting or has gotten that are for original works?
Those are all her acting credits.
That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. So for her to make those comments, I just think that we'll have to see what ends up doing with the Hunger Games. Because if it makes a ton of money, now we do have that tendency to be terminally online, right? Like we forget sometimes that the average person doesn't know nor care what Rachel Zegler is doing. They just want to see a movie that does well, right? It's actually plausible that the Seven Dwarfs being removed will do just as much damage to the movie as her being annoying on the internet.
And the fact that they erased the prince. They erased Prince Charming from the story entirely so that there's no prince.
Barbie has made me rethink some of this stuff. Like what do I know? Like Barbie just hit like 10 weeks in a row in the top 10.
But think about the hype that there was for Barbie months and months before it ever came out. Yeah. I don't see that for Snow White.
Well, Disney's going to try and manufacture it through Rage.
For it.
Disney's going to try to market it through Rage.
Yeah, outrage marketing. But it's low-hanging fruit for Rachel Zegler it's easier for her to crap on a story that was, made into a movie in 1937 and written centuries before that than to crap on Hunger Games, which was created in 2008 and written by a woman. But I do remember some people hating on the Hunger Games because Katniss Everdeen is a bit of a blank slate character. Like she's said to have very little personality. Same thing for Bella Swan. Like young adult literature is known for having blank slate female characters that can kind of fit anywhere. And Kristen Stewart is good at playing a blank slate. And
perfect.
That worked out for her. But that was seen as misogynistic. But Rachel Zegler doesn't really have the opportunity to ruin the marketing for the Hunger Games the way she did for Snow White.
Yeah, well,
but
plus
it's interesting the way that it exploded months after those videos happened from D23 Expo. Like I went back and looked at my article about those clips from like October 2022, and they resurfaced this summer. Just it seemed like inorganic, and she doesn't have the ability to refute or walk back her statements because of the strikes.
And then we got weird videos like this one, like these AI videos.
Now AI is jumping on the trend of hating on Rachel Zegler, which like I'm okay with that trend if it's humans talking about it. But AI is making countless videos, like AI generated videos crapping on Rachel Zegler that don't even make any sense.
There were a couple
that were AI generated where the title was just totally false. It
one
said
about
like Jenna Ortega calls out Rachel Zegler for being woke or whatever. And it was just not mentioned in the video at all.
Just trying to get you to click.
Yeah.
Click farming. We have this one here.
And I sent you one of them.
Here's that's not the one you sent me, but this
Yeah.
is this one's funny.
Rachel Zegler is delusional. She's been caught complaining about her co-stars, making demands that are out of line, and generally acting like she's the queen of the world. She even had the audacity to say that she deserved to be paid for every hour that her Snow White movie was streamed online. Rachel...
Well, technically, isn't that true?
Yeah, that part was true. But that's something that an AI can pick up.
It's really funny.
In
like
the headline.
Zegler is a spoiled brat who is completely out of touch with reality. She's only going to get worse from here, and it's only a matter of time before she's completely forgotten.
It's only a matter of time before she's completely forgotten.
Like it was like somebody's like, "Hey, ChatGPT, you can only go," but it wouldn't even work either because ChatGPT only has information up through 2021.
True.
So it wouldn't have any of the current. It was like they just broke it down into the most bare bones.
Bullet point.
There was no actually specific details, and the one specific they had was actually technically wrong, which was the one about the streaming one.
Yeah.
Because her quote was like, if I'm going to be in a dress for 18 hours wearing, dressed as a Disney princess, I'm going to be paid for every hour or something like that, which was about the hours worked, not about streaming.
She said, no, she actually did say she wanted to get paid for every minute that it gets streamed on Disney+. That is actually what she said.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I was thinking about they were talking about how how all of these companies and these actors are having trouble because they want to get paid for all the time streamed, right? And I said, here's the problem. Like, when you really break it down, all the time streamed doesn't mean more revenue. It's all coming out of the same pot. So a guy who paid $15.99 for his Netflix subscription, it doesn't matter if he streamed your show 100,000 hours. If he also streamed this other show for 1,000 hours, like, what does that matter? You have to break it up between all of those different shows. He didn't sign up just for your show, and there's no way to prove that anyways.
It obviously makes zero logical sense.
No, it doesn't. It's like, unless, and I was wondering, if like, this is completely an aside, but like, what if we end up going back to one of these things where it's like, they're going to end up, you know how like you go to the store now, you go to Starbucks and you have the cashier just brazenly turn the tip counter around on you, right? Like, and then they'll
start doing that at Walmart and Target.
I think that it's possible that they end up. I wonder if one of these companies will start some type of thing where it's like, if you want to see your favorite show do better, tip the show.
How many people are actually going to do that in this economy? What a joke.
Are you kidding? Well, no,
but really, are there people?
They'll use it as a means to say, look, if you want another season.
Are there children that will use their parents' credit cards to tip Rachel Zegler for Snow White on Disney Plus?
The idea is like, look, do you want? It's no different than when they say like, here, if you.
It's like saying that you should get paid for auditioning. Like, I worked to make my audition tape. You should pay me to make it.
Yeah, like. Imagine that, like, when you're done watching the show, they're like, look, if you like the show, if you want a season 2, you should tip it so we know that you want a season 2. And furthermore, it could get even worse. Like, what if they just end up starting to like, look, you go on, you pay for the streaming service, but if you want it in HD, you're going to have to pay $1.99 and like just like the old days, right? They're gonna it'll just end up back, and everything will circle back to the same old business model where maybe you'll get the repeat shows, the shows that are old, nothing they can do about it. Actors from Breaking Bad want some residuals on their shows. Too bad you made those contracts before all of this stuff was popular. But with new shows coming out, what if the idea is that sure, you get all of the old shows for free, but if you want another season of this new show that we made, you're gonna have to pay. Otherwise, how do we know that you watch this? Because you watch this and you watch The Office. How do I know that you really care about this show? And how does that translate to money for the people who are signing these contracts?
Flip the iPad.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid.
I will never tip a streaming service.
A streaming service
that might work for some Netflix shows because people are so fed up with the Netflix model that cancels things after 1 season or 2 seasons.
You got to have you got to have like a product that people are willing to pay for. Like I said, the other day I made that post. I said, if you're one of the 6 people besides me who's got Peacock, you should watch this. And I had more than a couple of messages from people who said, I have it, but only for WWE, because it's the only place that streams WWE content. Mm-hmm. So they got to have stuff that people want that they can get anywhere. And now you're starting to see streaming services that have live sports. It's all
There's
a
no way
mess.
that translates into residuals for life.
No.
Period.
Nope. So, do you think that this movie ends up bombing? Like, I really don't think. Now that I think about it, I don't think that the box office for Hunger Games is actually a fair meter, comparison for how Snow White will do. Because I think that the audience that the Hunger Games courts already probably takes a liking to someone like Rachel Zegler.
Yes.
Like
young adult fiction enjoyers.
They're Yas Queen slaying
Queen
all the way for her, I think. I don't think they have a problem with that. Doesn't interest me, but
I didn't see many big names in that movie either.
In the new Hunger Games?
Yeah.
No, I mean, most at
the
that
Ballad
time,
of Songbirds
there
and
was
Snakes.
no, I saw Viola Davis was in that movie.
Oh,
so Viola
okay.
Davis was in that movie. Peter Dinklage was in that movie.
Oh, I didn't see him.
A couple of big people, right? Am I wrong about Peter Dinklage? I could have. Let me double check that, because we were talking about the Toxic Avenger coming out soon, and let's see, Hunger Games.
I think maybe Peter Dinklage was screaming and crying about how the dwarves shouldn't be like medical dwarves in the Snow White movie because he never wanted to work with Rachel Zegler again.
Maybe that's what it was, right?
He was like, I cannot be on a set with this woman.
See, but the young adult movies were always kind of a bastion for new up-and-coming actors.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're younger. Bern Gorman is well-known. Peter Dinklage is well-known. Jason Schwartzman. So the adults.
Yeah.
The evil adults are all pretty good. Viola Davis, Jason Schwartzman. Those are pretty big names. Those are names that I recognize. The rest of these are not names that I know, other than obviously her. I do not know Hunter Schafer.
Hunter Schafer was the trans character in Euphoria.
Okay.
That's all I know.
So the rest of them are fairly well known. Of the adults, those 4 adults are pretty big names.
There was a tweet that was trending over the weekend that was like, quote, tweet this with your favorite experiences or celebrity encounters.
Have you ever had any good celebrity encounters?
I don't think I've ever met a celebrity, period.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that prompt because why can't you focus on the negative?
That was
Quote tweet with your worst celebrity encounters.
That was the most Mary thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Let's go to Super Chat, shall we? Shall we, Mary?
Okay. Yorishima Otaru says, this sounds like a problem for future Brett.
Probably.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Shane H. Wilder said, inserts Michael Scott screaming no gif.
No! No! God! Exactly.
Corey Anderson said, as a man, I am torn, but thong bikinis are the most trashy thing. What are you looking at me for?
What are they talking about? Is this relating to the
Cringe video?
Was that related to the Cringe video? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that people wear leggings and athleisure everywhere now. It's like giving the least possible effort when you're out in public.
Ladies, I have no problem with you wearing athleisure wherever you go. It doesn't bother me one bit. Let's do one
Brett
more.
Dasovic, 2024.
2024.
2024. Yorishima Otaru said, good watch on streaming The Portable Door.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I've never heard of that.
Neither have I. I'll check it out. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about Russell Brand. Russell Brand has been in the news extensively over the last couple of weeks, given that he has been simultaneously canceled and facing several very, very serious accusations of SA, as we call it here, because on YouTube, because we're not allowed to say things like that without getting censored or in trouble, which is interesting because right now Russell Brand is not being censored because of saying bad things. He's being censored and he's being canceled because of things he's accused of doing, which they cannot corroborate. Now, what is going on is that he has been demonetized on YouTube, and he made a video, he released it last Friday, where he said he's moving over to Rumble to do almost exclusively Rumble content. Simultaneously now, we are finding out that executives at Rumble run the risk of getting arrested for supporting Russell Brand's free speech, which they have said that they are going to do. They're not gonna censor him. They believe in a free internet, and now a new law in the UK, a new internet ban or new internet laws will possibly put them under threat of arrest, which is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that Rumble was a Canadian company. That's another country where they don't have any free speech laws that protect them at all. But I mean, this is just conjecture. They believe that Rumble executives, if they ever visit the UK, could risk jail time for violations of their online safety bill. And if it's coming from the UK and it's called an online safety bill, it literally means anything we deem damaging or toxic that is on social media from a UK citizen, you can be prosecuted for it. And I think Andrew Tate was one of the main reasons why this came about, because they're hand-wringing about Andrew Tate's impact on young boys in the UK.
Yeah.
They've taken it upon themselves to make sure everyone is safe on the internet.
It's kind of like when they talk
censoring
about
people.
It's like when they talk about misinformation. It just means whatever we deem to be misinformation is misinformation.
Right. But it looks like Rumble isn't backing down. They're going to continue allowing Russell Brand to monetize his content, despite the fact that multiple firms are boycotting the platform and pulling their advertisements from Rumble, including Burger King, ASOS, HelloFresh, and other companies.
I know Burger King and HelloFresh. I don't know ASOS.
ASOS is a clothing retailer.
Okay.
And now Burger King, this is from Newsweek, Burger King is getting called woke after Russell Brand advert move.
I saw Jordan
Is that
Peterson,
the worst that could happen?
I saw Jordan Peterson saying that we need to boycott Burger King, and I'm just picturing Jordan.
I wasn't going to Burger King anyway. That's easy.
My favorite thing is picturing like him driving to a Burger King, and then he just veers.
He sees that headline and he's like, I can't do this anymore.
No, but here's the thing though, like, because when this came out, my favorite part was this came out right as that famous. Does anybody remember in the chat that dreadful tweet from McDonald's a couple of years back? It's
a modern progressive burger company.
Black trans women have a request for us. Please stop killing us. And it was a tweet from McDonald's, and everyone's like, "Sir, this is a McDonald's drive-thru. Like, why is McDonald's tweeting this? It makes no sense." So it's like I'm picturing.
Or no, it's them in character as Grimace.
I'm picturing Jordan Peterson. He's on his way to Burger King, and he's like looking at his phone. He shouldn't be looking at his phone and driving, but he is. And he's about to go into Burger King to get a Whopper, and he finds out that they have boycotted Russell Brand. He goes, Arr! He goes right, and he goes to McDonald's, and then he remembers, crap, I can't, because they're getting involved in the social justice too.
You go to Chick-fil-A.
That's all you can do.
Safe option.
That's all you can do.
But it's just like the Bud Light boycott. Like, I wasn't going to Burger King anyway. I wasn't buying Bud Light anyway.
No way,
So
bucko.
I am all good on that.
See, I was going to Burger King.
That's shameful, honestly, Brett.
I have no problem.
After they pulled the Impossible Whopper.
I'm definitely not eating that. That's disgusting.
And the YouTube CEO was just in an interview where he completely threw Russell Brand under the bus and responded to questions about why they demonetized his channel. Basically, they asked him, how can you justify demonetizing Russell Brand when this isn't a lawsuit? This isn't even a criminal trial, and he hasn't gone through due process.
All right, Joe.
How do you justify demonetizing his channel when there hasn't been due process and we don't really know if these allegations are true or not? And
because there's an election coming up, man.
Well, he wasn't that, forthright about it, but he said he had off-platform news that was damaging to the broad creator ecosystem on the platform, whatever that means. And he reassured us that, don't worry, we're not playing favorites when we censor people and when we demonetize people. We suppress everyone equally. Everyone gets equal suppression and censorship.
But we know that's not true. That's
also not true.
There's a $20 one there from Hobby J.
Hey gang, late as always, but apropos to belly shirts, Brett must have lived in the house next to my trailer park as a 40-year-old POMC, person of multiple colors, Belly shirts have always been a sign of a hussy. Hi, Mary. Hi.
No.
Were you just...
I just think it was part of the style back in the late 90s. It just was. Yeah. Unless Christina Aguilera was a hussy in the Genie in a Bottle music video.
Do you want to play the interview?
First I want you. Somebody I saw Andrina in the chat said she didn't know what McDonald's commercial. This was a real tweet.
Oh.
Black trans women have a very simple message: stop killing us. From from Amara Jones.
What? When was this posted?
2020.
Okay, that makes sense.
2020, and then it's really funny. You go down through it, and it's all of this stuff. Black people banned in China and McDonald's and evicted from their homes over coronavirus.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it is one of those things that really proves like what is the point. There has to be some type. No, there has to be some type of funding for all this stuff because it's like it has nothing to do with burgers. Everybody in the comment section is saying that this is pointless. Like, fix your ice cream machine. Like, don't tell me this, fix your ice cream machine. This is insane. But yeah, do you want to go? We want to watch the...
Well, I could just tell you guys. It's impacted a number of creators and personalities on the platform in the past. And that's what's played out in this particular case around serious allegations. We endeavor to apply those rules equally across our entire creator ecosystem. He insisted that they don't play favorites, having them apply to the content behavior as opposed to who the person is. So don't worry. Rest assured, guys. Everyone is going to get demonetized equally on this platform. It doesn't matter who you are. But that's not actually true.
No, it's never been
because you
true.
can point out countless examples, and this is probably because YouTubers in general have a higher propensity toward... bad behavior off platform.
Didn't we watch a video at one point? It was during the Nickelodeon stuff where somebody made strong allegations of the same type of stuff against Diplo.
I don't remember that.
When we were talking about what's her name? Like Dan. What's the Nickelodeon?
Schneider.
Dan Schneider, and we somehow like somebody made a bunch of similar allegations against Diplo, the musician.
Yeah.
And
I never heard about that.
Okay, so he's still monetized.
It's getting to the point where you can hardly name a celebrity at this point who hasn't been faced with serious allegations of some kind.
Who is the DJ Luke, the dude from Dr. Luke?
Yeah,
he didn't get demonetized. Well, the allegations were coming out from Kesha.
Right, exactly. And Cardi B, I know that's a sensitive subject on this channel. Sam Pepper also faced allegations.
Diplo wins ruling against woman who accused him of harassment. Oof.
He won. So he won. Okay.
Yeah, he said he won a ruling in a case against a woman who says he harassed her. He says harassed him after a sexual relationship that ended in 2020. TMZ and Pitchfork can confirm. They had demanded an arbitration hearing against the woman, accusing her of violating a dual restraining order agreement that the pair had signed in 2021. So maybe, I don't know if that's even the same case, but yeah, that was a big deal for a while. People kept talking about that like in the music industry, a lot of people get away with a lot of stuff, as we know.
Right.
And those allegations came out. Yeah.
It's just, if you make one exception, then the entire platform is compromised.
Untangling the sexual misconduct allegations against Diplo. That's strange. This is from 2021. I don't remember anything about him being demonetized on YouTube because he ran the risk of harming other creators in the ecosystem.
The list of YouTubers and also public figures in general that have platforms on YouTube who have been hit with serious allegations of this nature is longer than genealogies in the Bible. Like, it could go on forever, especially because influencers they have a higher propensity toward bad behavior off the platform and on the platform, but they haven't gotten demonetized. So why now?
Yeah.
That's the big question.
I didn't know
why this guy and why now?
I didn't even know that Rumble was a Canadian company. For some reason, I just assumed it was an American company.
But good for them for, trying to create an alternative platform in a country that's so clearly totalitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what's next for this dude when everybody, because it would have been very easy for Rumble to bend the knee. Very easy considering.
But what would have been in it for them to do that?
To bend the knee? No, nothing. They understand where their bread is buttered as far as their viewership. Like if you just look at how their viewership skews, it's people that want to support free speech and people that want to support. I know that their audience is heavily right leaning.
Right.
At Rumble, obviously.
I guess it's surprising on its own that they had advertisers
from Burger King
of this at this level. But no matter how many of these big ad firms pull out of the platform, they're still going to keep enough ad sponsorships to continue operating.
Also, Elon Musk said something like he wished he'd come to Twitter. I think that Elon Musk had said something about
he's kind of pressed that
jealous.
Russell Brand is on Rumble instead of X.
He's very jealous right now.
Well, who knows what's in store for Russell?
I don't know what's going to happen with this. I do know that it's a very good sign to see that.
Has he continued making videos, or is it just the?
I mean, he doesn't release them every day, anyways. But the YouTube video came out on Friday, like just as the workday was ending, where he basically said that he's moving over to Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he just going to continue covering the news like he usually does?
He should. Or I mean, he should. That'd be great. Like if he just keeps going through it and doesn't make his whole channel shouldn't become about what's going on with him. If he wants to be effective, he needs to continue to make the stuff that he's making. There is a problem in that, like, what they've done effectively now is they've stopped his ability to convert. He's going to be preaching to the converted now entirely. When he was on YouTube, he could reach new people. Now, all of the people that are going to be watching his content are already people that likely agree with him. That's a problem. What they want, they're effectively stopping what they wanted to stop. They may not be able to stop him from making money, but they're going to be able to stop him from reaching as many new people as they wanted, because the people who are going to watch it on YouTube are likely to see things like, you're going to get more of a wide range of people watching on YouTube. On Rumble, you're going to get people that agree with you. I would wonder if you ask and polled all the people who watch content on Rumble what their thoughts are on Moderna, they probably have pretty similar thoughts. Yeah. There's a $20 one there from Francisco Sanchez Jr.
Yes, Brett. Traylor Quift is an NFL Psy-Op. What was it a Psy-Op? Was that 70 spot Miami put on Denver?
Yesterday.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
So Francisco Sanchez Jr. Did you see there was I saw a tweet. Sorry, an X, a Twix, from somebody who said that his whole family has a tradition where they all take shots of tequila every time the Miami Dolphins score a touchdown, which means that they would have scored. Like, they would have taken 10 shots yesterday. So the tweet basically said, like, did this have you rethinking your life choices by the end of it? Because that must have been a rough end of the day. And apparently, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this, the head coach of the Dolphins, I guess I forgot who they played. Who did they play? The Bears. But I guess he tried out for, he wanted to coach there, and they didn't even give him an interview or something. And he didn't kick the extra point yesterday at the end of the game that would have made it the highest scoring game in NFL history.
Wow.
He's like, I'm going to destroy you with honor.
I'm just pretending to
care.
Understand.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, because I talk about this all the time. There's nothing worse than what TV.
Do you pay attention to sports?
I follow through social media. I don't watch anymore, but I do follow I follow John Boy. I follow some of the other channels that talk sports, but I'm not a diehard or anything like that.
Are you a barstool conservative?
That is such an awful term, especially given that we're going to be talking about Dave Portnoy tomorrow.
I think you unironically are.
Probably. No, because I don't consider myself a conservative.
Yeah, I don't think that barstool conservatives are conservatives.
If by that you mean a liberal from 10 years ago before the world went absolutely insane, then sure. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on, shall we?
Okay. Corey Anderson said, Mary and Brett, thoughts on women wearing leggings as everyday wear kind of comes off as slovenly.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here,
I agree.
In the Dasovic 2024 election committee, we support slovenly, and you can dress however.
No, Brett. The problem is, if you look good in leggings, okay, that's one thing. But 99% of the people wearing leggings and athleisure 24/7,
they
don't look good in
I'm
them.
gonna ask for common sense athleisure control to make sure that
what I'm calling for is a complete and total shutdown of daily athleisure until we can figure out what the hell is going on. Because
look, I'm not okay
it's
with
gone
that.
too far.
I'm not okay with that. Look, I'm pretty anti-government when it comes to athleisure suppression. So I think that you ladies, I would ask that you use your athleisure responsibly and you check yourself
Lock
in the mirror.
it in a safe.
Put it somewhere safe and maybe please double check with your, like, if you have a friend that really loves you and will tell you the truth no matter what, check with them first. You know,
We need harm reduction for athleisure.
Don't go to your friends. Don't go to your friends that are just going to tell you what you want to hear. You want to go to that one friend who always brags about how they're an asshole and always says, like, I tell people what they want to hear, even if they don't want to hear it, when it's really just an excuse for them to be a dick to everyone. I want you to go to that friend and I want you to be like, look, be honest. How do I look right now? If your evil, rude friend says you look okay, you're fine.
I don't think that even if you look good in leggings, you should wear them as everyday clothing. It's just low effort.
I'm okay with
if you're hot, you would look good in anything. So why that? That's
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're still waiting on Carter.
Shane H. Wilder said, I too am AI phobic.
AI phobic?
Yeah, I'm an AI phobe.
I'm seeing even more, like, it's crazy how much more AI art I'm seeing online and AI. Like, it's so weird to see all of the...
I resent when I enjoy it.
They're saying Rumble moved to Florida.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I guess its founders are Canadian.
Good.
NC Pork Barbecue said, Brett, glad to see you on Shane's channel last Friday. Had a good laugh with y'all. Hi, Comicsgate. Also, Mary is a QT.
There you go. Yes, I had an absolute blast last Friday. It was so much fun. 4 hours is a long show, but I got stamina. What can I say? I go the distance. It's
and
good.
You weren't even drinking.
I wasn't, and yeah, that's the real thing.
That's
it's like
the really impressive part.
Everybody on the show is getting increasingly sloppy as the show goes on, and I'm over here like I'm just happy to be here. like every time they have to do a shot, I'd have to be like.
Another sip of water for Brett.
And it reminded me of all the girls I knew in high school who would bring vodka to work or to school, and I would be like, how do you do? First of all, how does they'd open?
Isn't that just to impress your friends?
And then they'd open the bottle, and I was like, everyone can smell that. Everyone can smell that. It's disgusting. I'll never understand a woman's ability to just drain just hard liquor or clear liquor. Gross. Yeah. Gross.
No, I like tequila.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun to be on there. It's very loose and here we're very we've got stories and
we're serious journalists.
We are not journalists. I will never accept a slur like that. But they have so much fun over there, so it was great.
A serious man said, "What kind of losers would tip money to an internet streamer?" Here you go. Okay, that's not what we were talking about.
Yes.
You wouldn't tip Disney Plus.
Yeah, would you tip Disney Plus? That's the real question. To keep a show on the air.
Would you tip a Netflix show?
Yeah, Disney's not a good example because it's all Disney shows on there. Would you tip Netflix for a specific show so that they know that they want you to keep that show on air?
I 100% believe that the Warrior Nun fans would tip for another season when it got canceled. Olivia Claire said, I met Adam Sandler working at college security.
Was he shabbily dressed? My favorite is all the pictures. There's this amazing Instagram channel where she does a series of videos called Adam Sandler or a Lesbian.
Oh.
And it covers up the face. It's just Adam Sandler or a lesbian.
The results will surprise you.
So the first one, part one, I got them all right. After part one, she got very good at this lady got very good at it and was able to trick me on a couple of occasions where she tricked me on which ones were Adam Sandler and which ones were the lesbians. Let's hold off on the rest. Okay. Let us come back after we talk about what's going on with Cast Media.
Theo Vaughn recently exposed what he has called the Bernie Madoff of the podcasting world. And he did this in a 10-minute or so clip on his YouTube channel. And he called this guy out for running a media company that is essentially for representing podcasters and getting ad sponsorships for them. And basically all of this guy's clients have come out and said we were either paid super late for our ad reads or we were never paid at all.
There's a $20 one there from Turkey Based Her.
Oh, I don't like that. Hi, me again, shamelessly promoting my running club. Brett, find a kennel near you and go check it out. House Harriers, come drink with us, right in the expose.
Look, it's really funny because over the weekend I posted a
Don't
thing,
tempt fate like that.
I posted a story, like an Instagram story, where I said, look, because I'm still injured, I can't skate right now. And I said the inability to skate and exercise regularly is driving me slowly insane.
You're going to have to join a running club after this.
Like I'm gonna have to figure something out because skating is too easy to get re-injured. I'm right back at the point when this initially happened months ago. I took 3 weeks off and then immediately got re-injured. I'm now right back at that point where it's been 3 weeks since I got re-injured. I need to give it at least another month and a half before I even try again. I'm gonna need to find something, otherwise I'm gonna lose my freaking marbles because not having that physical activity is just, it's killing me. So continue.
Theo Vaughn said Colin Thompson, who was the head of now defunct Cast
Never trust a Thompson if there's no P in there.
Yeah, there's no P in Thompson.
Not Thompson.
Defrauded podcasters of over $4 million and tried to strong arm them into a deal at his alleged new employer, Live One, formerly Podcast One, run by Rob Ellen. Beware of this man, and anywhere he does business, he can steal our money, but he can't steal our voice. On God. So basically this guy said that his company tanked because this was a bad year for ads. And then he just didn't tell his clients and stopped paying them, essentially. And I don't know how this went on for so long without him getting called out. Like you have a bunch of these outspoken influencers that are your clients and no one called him out until now. And
big names, huge names.
So Theo Vaughn is included in this list. Also Brendan Schaub, Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette's a huge wrestling, like he's been in the wrestling business for like a gazillion years. Wrestling podcasts are huge. Also,
Winnie Cummings, Tony Hawk even was represented by this guy's company. And they went to CoffeeZilla, and CoffeeZilla is a YouTube channel, if you don't know, that he exposes a lot of scammers. He did content on Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo disaster. And he actually interviewed Colin Thompson to get answers for where is the $4 million, essentially. And the way that this guy danced around the question is honestly impressive, but the tell of a true con artist and narcissist. So I'd like to play that clip of his interview with CoffeeZilla.
All right, hold please. Pulling it up here. Here we go.
You know, we believed in the show. It ran into trouble. Maybe it was canceled in one way or another, and canceled, quote unquote. And we stood by our creators, right? Continue to support them through that time. You know, when maybe a more corporate organization wouldn't. We weathered the storm together. We believe truly that that's what, you know, was unique and special about Cast, and my heart and soul is still in that vision. I'm a musician originally, and I got into this because I wanted to support shows that were bucking the trend, going against the grain, but unique and important to the broader dialogue.
He's dancing around it the same way that reporter danced around Dave Portnoy's accusations.
He's saying so much and so little.
Yeah.
Where's the 4 million? I mean, yeah, I hear you. Everybody's got a grand vision, but the grand vision, when we get to this point, everyone wants to know where the money is, not what the vision is.
Sure. You know, we built an infrastructure at Cast that I was and am tremendously proud of. I believe that over the years, we generated better revenue for creators, paid them out more than other podcasts would necessarily be able to, because we invested heavily in an infrastructure, took an individualized approach, anecdotally.
Huh?
This guy is exactly CEO material. He's saying literally nothing.
Huh?
You know,
But you're saying you pay out more, but I mean, clearly that's, you know, kind of not true, right?
Wait, but you asked for my story. Do you mind if I just tell the story? You know, we're getting to the financial difficulties. Stephen.
Sure.
Yeah.
He gets to the point here.
You know,
a little bit.
Our vision, it really worked. Creators benefited, made a lot more money than they would have. And many creators do have more money in their pocket now because of that. However, During the period from February
That's a big
2022
however.
until February 2023, our unit economics changed drastically. Our revenue per download, which is an important metric for analyzing sales performance, free from content performance considerations, dropped by 58%. In other words, over the course of those 12 months, the revenue that we could generate on one download moved down by 58%.
Okay, so the way that Colin Thompson decided to remedy that situation is not telling the clients and not paying them and not telling them when they were going to get paid. So he continued doing this, and in order to get more famous clients on his rap sheet, he just started giving them a bunch of promising minimums.
Yeah.
Like he would promise them $250,000 minimum in the first year that they're represented.
And they talk a lot about how
That
word
he
of
just
mouth
can't deliver.
Well, and they talk a lot about how word of mouth between creators played a huge role in this. That basically one person says like, "Look, I'm making this much from this guy, so everyone wants to work with him now," and that just doesn't work because they're not actually getting paid.
And they
They're
just
promised
trusted
something,
that.
but they're not getting the money.
Right. And while this was all going on in 2022, Colin Thompson bought himself a $1.7 million custom house in a very wealthy part of what I would guess is LA or Hawaii. He's also taking just like lavish luxury vacations to Hawaii in the middle of this and posting pictures of it on Instagram. And this is while he's hiding all the numbers.
Yep.
And in anticipation of his company going bankrupt, he tries to hide his assets. So he created a fake shell company that's based in Wyoming to place his house in a trust.
It's like right next to Jeffree Star's house.
And yeah, next to Jeffree Star. He placed his house in that asset protecting firm. And that was in order to hide it from his bankruptcy filings. And then they told the creators that if they wanted to get their money back during this bankruptcy, they had to sign on to the new company that was buying Cast Media called Podcast One or Live One.
Podcast One is a huge conglomerate that's been around for ages.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
a lot of the wrestling podcasts are done through podcast. A lot the ones that are hosted by big name wrestlers, not the ones that are fan run, have deals with Podcast One. They have a deal with a lot of like the true crime podcasts, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they couldn't even cut ties with Cast Media after they were swindled out of 6 figures, 7 figures. Because this was the way that Cast Media was getting bailed out.
Serial Killer is in the chat is correct. Those are ghetto LA prices, to be fair, for a house. Like 1.7. Have you ever seen that picture, like white of Ice Cube's dad's house, which is worth like $600,000, and it's just this. It's like this big.
Yeah,
tiny, it's like a 1-story. Like it's like a Rambler. It's tiny.
Yeah, Ice Cube, take better care of your dad.
His dad probably doesn't live there anymore. They probably just hold on to the house. Probably.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But what I thought most interesting was this guy Michael Ojibwe's description of what was happening, which is it's so sad because you can tell like what basically it is like he signs this deal and he starts to get the feeling after a couple of months like I might have screwed something up. So he says he's the host of the true crime podcast Invisible Choir, and he signed an exclusive ad deal with them in 2021 and said he got in the habit of expecting payments late from Cast. He said his very first payment from them came in late, and every payment thereafter came in late. Now, this is something that's been going on in the comic book industry for a while now. Like a lot of these creators, these people who write for freelance for these companies, they just expect to get checks late because the companies don't actually value doing business properly. Mm-hmm. And
what's ironic about this is you don't see the podcasters involved in a scandal like this talking about strikes because, the actors are reliant on the studios. Yeah. The podcasters all they have is their own platform, and they don't have the option to insolently go on a strike. It's ironic, isn't it?
Yep.
Because in a lot of ways, they're getting treated worse than the actors and the writers are.
Yep. He says that there were a number of points where I had a gut check. I was seeing the red flags, specifically with Colin, but more broadly with how the company handled accounting. Specifically, that led to me aggressively and proactively inquiring about payment.
Right.
And if you have to do that, you're in trouble.
This kind of reminded me of TanaCon. Do you remember TanaCon in 2018? Okay, Tana Mojo.
Oh, yes.
She had one of the first
I remember
big
creator
meetups? Run meetup conventions.
Well,
that was just totally
or?
It wasn't canceled. It ended up happening, but she booked it at a venue that could not hold the number of people that bought tickets. And that was on purpose because they were talking about how funny it would be if there were a bunch of kids waiting outside to get into the event and how cool that would make them look. Yeah. Like, oh, people are just dying to go to TanaCon. And that ended up happening. And there were thousands of kids lined up in the sweltering heat to get into TanaCon. And it turned into this huge disaster. Like there were people that were wheeled off in ambulances. And I'm surprised that this didn't turn into a class action lawsuit looking back on it. Yeah. But Shane Dawson ended up doing one of his stupid investigative documentary series on TanaCon. And he was supposed to be one of the creator panelists there. Yeah. So in a way, he's kind of answering for his own involvement in it. But they found out that this guy Tana Mojo hired to essentially organize this event for her was a guy named Michael Weist. And he was literally like 20 years old and had no experience organizing events prior to that. And you can see him in the videos where everything is going to shit and it's turning into pandemonium outside this event, where he's like, you know, holding his Bluetooth earpiece and rolling around on a Segway, looking busy and looking stressed while he does nothing to rectify the situation. And Michael Weist ended up doing interviews after the fact, defending himself and saying like he had nothing to do with this event going wrong and he had no blame in the situation. It was all on Tana. And he had the same like he has the same exact demeanor as Colin Thompson does. Yeah. Is my main point here. Like all of these swindlers and scam artists sound the same. And I don't know how people fall for it anymore. It's just like a very recognizable demeanor and recognizable tone that they use. And he started off this interview with CoffeeZilla heaping praise on him, being like, I really respect your work and that's the reason I'm doing this interview. And I think that you are a true journalist and I really appreciate your journalistic output. And that's why I'm here today, is to tell my side of the story. Yeah. And then he starts waffling on about how well he's treated his clients, and he doesn't answer. No, they never do.
They never answer those questions. How often does Bob Iger actually answer the questions when they get asked questions at these, at these company, right. these investment calls, investor calls,
or the YouTube CEO? Yeah, answering as to why he demonetized Russell Brand.
And they said that they're owed, like between him and the other creators, they're owed anywhere between $600,000 to overall $1.5 million.
Well, that's just one creators. Of them, but $4 million total is the estimate.
No, I'm saying, but between them, like each individual one, like he said, he's owed in the six-figure range. Other people he knows are owed over $1 million.
Part of how we'll pay you back is we'll pay you back in stock. For the stock of this company that isn't public yet. Yeah. Yep. I hope you're happy with that. So yeah, it's just really
I wouldn't want to be a paper millionaire if I could be an actual millionaire.
There are so many people like this, I'm sure, in the podcasting world that are still at large.
It's just scary because it's like for a lot of people, like if you like, it seems like some not every YouTuber, but a lot of them, like they have to figure it out on their own, right? There's no roadmap. So they have to figure out, and I've had discussions with YouTubers who have talked, people who've been here that have YouTube channels that talk about the struggles of figuring out, the best ways to monetize their channel, figuring out the right companies to run ads with, the right time to release video. Like there's all this stuff that goes into it. And that's just figuring it out how to make it work with only relying on yourself, let alone having to worry about whether or not the person that you're going to go into business with is going to screw you. right? And a lot of them, they end up having to learn the hard way. And that's scary because there's always going to be sharks circling if you've created something of value. I wonder what like a podcast like Serial does in ad revenue each episode, right? Like, or any of these bigger Mr. Ballin, right? Like these bigger like true crime podcasts.
Better revenue than things that get streamed on Netflix.
Yes, well,
that's for sure.
That's what they'll end up doing. This guy's next grift will be to go over to Netflix and be like, look, I will bring in ad revenue. They're like, we don't sell ads. He's like, doesn't matter. I will get you ad revenue somehow.
Yeah, the influencers are doing all of the work that, in traditional like mainstream Hollywood, all of that work is offloaded onto studios.
Yeah.
So that these actors and writers who are striking at the moment,
the more like I
complain about it.
I've been going back and forth about like the as annoyed as I am with the writers and the actors, I'm always like it was like seeing the Office reboot that reminds me why I hate the studios just as much.
Yeah.
Because Kellen sent me that article and I'm like, yeah, I saw that. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And he's like, there's no creativity left in Hollywood. It's like, no, there are likely very creative scripts that they just refuse to greenlight because it doesn't have a built-in marketability, and it's something that they're going to have to figure out how they're going to market. And that laziness on the part of the studios is almost as infuriating to me as the actors and the writers' narcissism and their ability to feel that entitled. Like which
is weird. It's confusing because if anyone hears that there's an Office reboot in 2023, it's like almost guaranteed to last 1 or maybe 1.5 seasons and not make money. And an original idea is way more likely to be able to bring in new audiences.
It's like when they talk about the race swaps, and I'm like, nobody cares when you're not changing the look or gender of a specific character that people already love, right? Like every movie that I watch that has Denzel Washington in it, nobody cares because Denzel Washington is an amazing actor and he's not playing a character that's been that's not actually completely true. He does get race swapped in Man on Fire, and people still love it because it's Denzel Washington. But in general, when they don't have to worry about being compared to something else, they're a lot more likely to give it leeway. But it also means that less actual eyeballs are going to watch it initially. Mm-hmm. So it's a huge problem. And for companies like these streaming or for people like these YouTubers, they're just in a rough place because people like this are always going to be out there trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go to Superchats.
Do it.
Shane H. Wilder said, I met Tom Green a couple years ago. He was stoned out of his mind. Would not recommend.
I mean, just because he's stoned out of his mind doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like, was he rude? Was he not kind to you?
Do you remember when that photo of Tom Holland and Zendaya at a coffee shop in Boston went viral?
Mm-mm.
I think it was like the moment when they were a newer couple, and there was the photo of that, like a candid photo of them at a coffee shop that went viral, and the guy sitting next to them is just working on his laptop with headphones on and looks totally like it was totally unbeknownst to him that those two were famous or that there were paparazzi or anything. He was just like doing his work, which makes him look so much cooler than if he were like,
so it's like
Tom Holland and Zendaya.
So it's the opposite of Lauren Boebert saying, do you know who I am?
But
I'm a congresswoman.
He actually was a doppelganger of a YouTuber that lied about being the one who was sitting next to them, and then he tweeted about it and said Tom Holland and Zendaya both reeked of cigarettes. Also, Tom Holland has restless leg syndrome. Zendaya said Euphoria is crazy, and Tom Holland said, you're telling me?
I don't think they talk about Euphoria in public ever.
Do you think Zendaya has ever said Euphoria is crazy?
Maybe in an interview, maybe in like a really bad interview where she's just not in the mood for it, and she just says like, what can I say that can get me out of this interview faster? Oh, I know. Yeah, I love doing Euphoria. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Fear Me It's Bree said Hunter Schafer's character in Hunger Games is interesting because Hunter is trans, playing a character who in the original trilogy has mutilated themselves beyond recognition by body modifications.
There will be at least a couple articles written on advocacy websites that are criticizing this.
We'll see, I guess.
It's one of the hardest, like, I'll never understand why they want to do this stuff now, because you can't win. No matter how sensitively you write something, somebody will inevitably come out and say you're being rude and insensitive about it. Mm-hmm. It's impossible to make everybody happy. It doesn't work.
Shane H. Wilder said, I guess at BK, you in fact cannot have it your way.
You can't.
The UK threat of arrest just gives me another reason to never visit again.
Yep. Yeah, you can't have it your way. I do still like Burger King, though. I do. I like their
Where's
chicken.
your burger license?
I do like their chicken nuggets more than McDonald's chicken nuggets. McDonald's chicken nuggets are disgusting.
Olivia Claire said, I'm at Burger King with my Burger Queen. Can I get a large fry? She's vegan, please, so don't put no cheese with some honey mustard on the side.
Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to send that to you again this weekend, but I figured you'd already seen it. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Honey mustard on the side.
Was that on TikTok?
I saw it on Instagram. But the best part is how
That's
the girl just looks unbelievably unhappy with it, and the kid is just so like. There's also
goals.
Have you also seen the one that's emo flooring? From the guy who's he's like an emo. Yeah, emo flooring
you
is
sent
really
me that one.
Emo flooring is really, really good too. I love that one. Let's do one more and then we'll move on.
Shane H. Wilder said, I agree with Mary. I saw someone wearing leggings and a sports bra to mass the other day. Come on, WTF are we even doing here?
Look,
that's kind of crazy.
That's between you and the church, and as you know, separation of church and state, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to get involved in that one. I do think, however, maybe if I was what's up?
I forgot a $20 one.
Go for it.
I'm not going to say the username, but Mary, we give each other these nicknames as a tradition based on embarrassing stories. Not going to read the rest of it.
I'll say the username one more time, though. Turkey-based her.
Okay.
I will say, however, that if I'm running on a platform of unregulated athleisure wear use, I would say that by the time I get into office and I have to kind of capitulate to both sides a little bit, end up closer to the middle, maybe we put some fitness requirements into place. I'll run on a platform of laissez-faire athleisure use, but maybe we'll end up closer to the middle by the time we're done.
What was it called? The Fitness Gram Pacer test?
I don't know.
That kids in public schools had to pass a fitness test.
Bet you they don't do that anymore.
I'm sure they don't.
I bet you they don't do that anymore. Let's just hold off on the rest, and we will come back after we get done, guys. But I would like to get one more crisis party today. That would be fantastic. But for now, let's talk about my favorite conspiracy theory, which is, I believe that the NFL is pushing stories about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift because they're trying to appeal to the female demographic even more.
Yeah, I believe it too, but I think their whole relationship might be fake. Anyway, last week we were talking with Link Lauren about Taylor Swift telling her fans to register to vote on her Instagram story. And that just seems like a throwaway post, like no one's gonna pay attention to it.
No.
In reality, she actually got tens of thousands of her young fans to register to vote.
35,252.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you that is 35,252 new Democrat voters. Every single one of them.
And Taylor Swift is solely responsible for that. She is truly the great Satan.
She could absolutely, look, here's the thing. They just kicked Russell Brand off the internet, and Taylor Swift just got 35,000 new Democrat voters. If you don't think this is a little bit planned, you might be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
It's a little bit sus. This was a 23% jump from last year's National Voter Registration Day, and the largest since the 2020 general election year, according to Vote.org. 115% increase in 18-year-olds registering compared to last year.
Yep.
So her impact is truly astonishing.
And I did ask the chat, I said, do you think that it's all a Psy-Op right now? I said, is the NFL faking Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship to appeal to women? 68% say yes. It's a Psy-Op.
She is now allegedly in a relationship with Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs. And girls just care about football now. It's all of a sudden just girls like making TikToks about their game day outfits.
Yes,
and they're talking about football players.
I was telling Mary this story.
It's just
about
out of
how
nowhere. It's overnight.
I was watching these videos where these women, these influencers would do these videos like game day attire. So it's like her and her 3 friends, and they're changing into their various outfits. One says Auburn, one says Florida State. And the funny part about it is like all these women are now putting on outfits from different schools or different teams. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
I already get in trouble.
Look, it's about the aesthetic, Brett.
I already get in trouble for wearing multiple baseball team hats because I support one team because it's where I'm from and the other one because my favorite player of all time played for there. And even that's considered iffy.
I have in the past seen NBA wife inspo TikToks.
Yeah, it was bigger in the...
But NFL wife is going to start surging in the trends, I'm sure, because of Taylor Swift and her impact on her female fan base, as if the wokeness in the NFL wasn't enough to bring in a female audience. I think they finally got the key.
Yep.
And it's this manufactured relationship. I did see a tweet saying the NFL is orchestrating an elaborate fake relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift to try to grow their brand among women.
Now, I don't
with
think
an image of Tiffany Gomez.
I do not think the relationship is fake. I think that the reason why yesterday, when all of these accounts that I follow that just talk sports normally or stuff to do with the players are suddenly getting quotes from Bill Belichick on what he thinks of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is absolutely
Travis
planned.
Kelce has had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be his biggest.
I cringed so hard. I literally went like this. I went...
You shriveled into a raisin when you saw that.
I almost died of cringe.
Yeah. And Travis Kelce is already cringe in his own right. He is a Pfizer shill. He just did an ad for Pfizer where he's promoting getting the flu shot and your Pfizer booster this flu season, both in one.
He looks like a less cool Jake McLaughlin.
Let's take a look at this monstrosity.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
Did you know that?
Two things at once. Two things at once. I'll have two things at once, please. Now back to two things at once. Two things at once.
That's not two things at once.
Mom.
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
This is Taylor Swift's new boyfriend, everyone. And their relationship seems to be moving fast, which is normal for her. She's already met his mom.
No, okay, that was my problem with it. So she's at the game.
He met Donna.
She's at the game, like celebrating with his mom, and I'm like,
she's just chilling with Donna. And I'm like, this seems a little bit quick.
They were hugging.
Don't you think?
They were like hugging after he scored, and I was like, seriously?
Is his mom just a Swiftie and his mom was like, you need to date Taylor Swift so that I can be friends with her?
Probably.
I would find that more believable than that this is an inorganic connection. Dave Portnoy also agrees that Travis Kelce is using Taylor Swift for clout. I think it's working, and I am the target demographic here as a woman, as a whammon. I had never heard of Travis Kelce before. Yeah. Nor would I know what team he is on.
I couldn't believe
I never heard of Travis Kelce, and now I know who he is. So the Psy-Op is working on me.
Let's watch the video of the girl who's like really upset.
This is a Barstool Sports writer.
I got sent this
doesn't understand this relationship.
I got sent this from George on Twitter. Thanks, buddy. Here we go. Let's watch this video.
I've seen the videos. I've seen the clips. Okay. I'm just trying to catch up. I never in a million fucking years did I think that I would have to take time out of my Sunday to watch the Chiefs play. I chose them today to win because I thought, okay, like if we're still doing this, we're still doing this. I cannot believe that Taylor is at this game. And I'll be honest, I mean, what am I going to say? She's at the game. She loved all that corny bullshit. He's so gross. I have no interest in him. She's with Donna Kelce. Everything about this I hate. But she seems to love it. I don't know. She seems to love it. She's having a good time. What a betrayal for the Eagles, by the way. She's an Eagles fan. She's singing about she sings about Eagles t-shirts in her songs, but she's doing this. And I'm not shit on Taylor right now. I'm just saying that I think she's a little dick struck, okay? Maybe Travis is a dick like that because you don't betray your team and then get, in a Chiefs jersey and jump up and down in a booth with his mom if his dick's not that good. So he must, despite how vile and so embarrassingly lame he seems, he must have that good dick game. So good.
That's the explanation, folks. Yeah.
Maybe she does really have that lyric. Pfizer.
She's cheer captain and I'm on the bleachers, but she's actually in the booth.
Yeah, well, she's too rich for the glass. She's too rich for the bleachers.
Well, she's in the glass booth. I'm on the bleachers.
Yes.
Taylor. And afterwards, after the game, he apparently rented out an entire restaurant for them and his team.
It says they. They don't specify which one did so, but I don't think it really matters. At both of their tax brackets. If she
rented out the restaurant, I still think just for the sake of formalities, he should be the one paying for the restaurant.
Agreed.
I know that they're both incredibly rich and it doesn't matter at all.
Well, no. Now,
for the sake of formality,
at that tax bracket, it's about showing that you understand the social norms and in what you're supposed to be doing in that situation.
And then they left in a convertible.
It's also fake. Look at it. Here's them walking through the stadium. Here's when they're leaving.
Here's the best.
Hey, how you doing?
He does have an unbelievably punchable face.
You think so?
Yes. It's the mustache. The mustache is really annoying.
Mustaches are in right now.
And here's him and her and Donna.
I just don't understand what her type is. Because one minute she's
This might be the first guy that actually has a level of testosterone, though.
But that booster commercial, though, I don't know.
Money talks.
Like 1 minute she is hanging out with skinny indie rock, heroin chic, wet cigarette guy, Matty Healy. And then the next minute she's moved on to this guy who's kind of like a beefed up athlete. I don't know if she has a type at all. Is she really interested in dating for its own sake, or is it just all a PR game for her?
I still believe right now that she's only going to get the most like competitive of men now, because now they're all going to try and be the one who finally breaks the cycle.
Who gets to keep her.
Yeah.
Do you want that though?
I don't think
Ask yourself honestly.
I don't think they're thinking that far ahead. I don't think they're actually thinking about it. I think all they're thinking about is like, look, all of these men have failed.
I get to be Taylor Swift's flavor of the month is what they're thinking.
No, they want to be the flavor of a lifetime, right? So the idea is that these guys, now if she's going for athletes, they're naturally competitive. They want to win. And the only ones who are going to be smart enough are the only ones who are going to be stupid enough to be like, look, it doesn't matter. Maybe I just go for it anyways because I'm competitive and I need to win, not realizing that it's just going to lead to a bunch of song lyrics being written about them eventually. I don't know what these song lyrics will be about, but it'll be annoying.
Maybe she's just tolerating Travis Kelce to hang out with Donna. She's just really friends with Donna. He's just kind of there.
Well, no, maybe he's like, look, Mom. He was going to say no. He was going to politely decline.
I didn't know that this guy was so sought after, and I had never heard of him. But apparently in 2016, they made a whole dating reality show called Catching Kelce about him. And he had 50 suitors from all 50 states of the country trying to impress him. It's like The Bachelor on steroids. I think he said he regretted doing it afterwards because it was so awkward.
Here.
I feel like we would be just like knock 'em dead team.
Okay, I hear you.
So other than that,
this is where it gets bad. It's so deceptively edited.
It's done this way where like they're grabbing shots from when nothing's being said, and it's done on purpose this way. It's very much done.
It gets worse.
Like right there, they're waiting. The director said, wait for a second. And they're literally probably just waiting to be told to start again.
I am just like, can't really like say anything else.
He's like, perfect.
He's looking at the camera like.
He's like, I don't like it when women talk anyways. There's a $20 one there from Ryan the Eating Warrior.
Guys, she's working on her next album, LMAO, and no man of value wants the floor pizza that is Taylor Swift and her roster.
Well, at the very least, if there was ever like a flag football game with all of Taylor's ex-boyfriends, this dude would destroy all of them.
She is the expert of, in reality, like actually being a slut and never being perceived as such.
Yeah, because she's in relationships, Mary. She's not just sleeping with random men.
She's a serial monogamist.
She's a serial monogamist who goes around and she's like, look, I'm not addicted to getting drilled. I get drilled by boyfriends, she says. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Not sure how I feel about that message getting.
He's got to be younger.
Promoted to her.
He's got to be younger than her too, right? Because he's got, at the very least, he's not much older than his early 30s.
Let's see. Travis Kelce age
29.
He is the same age as her.
34.
He's actually 2 months older than her.
Okay.
Also born in 1989. They were like, I was born in 1989. You were born in 1989. Let's get married. That's what they were thinking.
He looks like
what more could we possibly need to have in common?
Like right here looks like he's like discount Chris Hemsworth.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Or Chris Evans? I don't know. I get them confused in my head.
But it's just really funny because when I look at this video, this is literally what you expect when you think of like a pick-me football girl. So it's right on brand.
The Pennsylvania girl?
I love it.
Let's see. What is Travis Kelce's height stats?
Well, he's got to be much taller than.
He is 6'5".
Okay, so he's much taller than her. Even she's probably what? She's like what? 5'11".
She's 6. I think she's 6 foot.
Is she?
Yeah, but or might as well be. I mean, if a guy says he's 5'11", he's 5'10". If a girl says she's 5'11", she's 6
feet.
foot.
Okay.
So
yeah, guys,
he only has 5 inches on her.
Guys, do not lie about the height. It's not necessary. You don't need to do that.
In heels, they're about equal.
Well, I mean that's part of it, right? Is you got to find somebody who's like they can't.
Are they equal in net worth though?
No.
Taylor Swift is looking at becoming a billionaire this year.
He's going to be worth some millions. But,
let's see. I mean, at a certain point, it's immaterial anyway. It says he's estimated at 30 million net worth. He's got some catching up to do.
He can afford to rent that place out, and the reality show that would come out of it would be fantastic. Yep. So,
well, I guess we'll have to see how long that lasts.
It'll be interesting because I would be worried.
Do you think this is the husband?
No, I don't. But here's the other thing. I think it's a problem because like if I was the actual coach, if I played for the Chiefs, you don't want people in your locker room that are a distraction to the team, right? Like that's why you don't want players that behave badly. And all of this hoopla has nothing to do with the game and is a needless distraction for the team.
And on the actual broadcast, the NFL broadcast of the game, they are cutting to shots of Taylor Swift waving down from the glass booth at Travis Kelce.
Well, that was my big problem with it, right? I was like, why is so much time being devoted to this? It just didn't
women watching.
I could see one mention of it, but the announcers were talking about it during the game. That's insane. There's a $20 one there from Pat the Plumber.
Travis jumped the shark this year. He's pushing Pfizer, Bud Light, and dating a C word.
Well, I don't know about the C word part. I don't know.
Is he pushing Bud Light?
Probably. I don't know.
He got a Bud Light.
He's got a deal. He's got a deal with Bud Light.
I thought they were moving away from the straight white male
demographic.
Demo.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he just sees it as like his. He can be contrarian, right?
No, wait, what do you mean?
He's contrarian to what well, I guess no, because football's kind of woke anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is.
I think this is all very much like what it is all
Does
sports,
he kneel during the anthem?
All sports, all these things, it's like all of it is the Borg now, right? You're not allowed to be different. Country music can't be country music. Football can't be football. Every market share has to try and appeal to people that would have no desire to watch. Now, what's funny is for years and years and years, television has done this thing where they portray all the women characters as loving sports or loving gambling or loving drinking. They can drink all the men under the table. They love sports, and the men are always like meek and don't care about. When we know that that's not how the real world is.
Yeah.
That it's the opposite, but it's social engineering through Hollywood. So they want to, in this case, it's not social engineering for any cause other than we want to increase our share of jerseys sold and merch.
Another TV trope is like every guy who appears to be stereotypically masculine has some stereotypically feminine hobby, like crocheting, that he's super ashamed of.
Yeah. Or no, it's they're not ashamed of it. But it comes off as like, oh, LOL, so quirky, right?
Yeah.
But the men are always like in these situations when the woman is super into something that men like. The guys are always like they'll gamble and they'll gamble and drink and she'll drink them under the table.
Yeah.
They did that on a thing on iZombie where the character of Peyton is like dating Ravi, but they're not dating at this time. And every night they drink and she drinks him under the table, even though he's like 1.5 feet taller than her and weighs twice what she weighs. And we know that that's not how the world.
Magic.
It's magic. Yeah.
Okay. Have you known girls who, as soon as they start dating a new guy, they change their personality to conform to the type of woman they think that he is interested in? Because I think I have actually known women that pretend to like football for a guy that likes football. And it's embarrassing. And I think that a lot of the Swifties watching this, I mean, they pretended to like indie rock 2 months ago when she was dating Maddie Healy. Now they're going to switch up and pretend that they like football.
I saw a tweet
and it's not even their boyfriend.
I saw somebody in the chat that said there's going to be, like, when they break up, there's going to be a ton of Chiefs merch at the Goodwill. So just wait, right? But like,
their stock's going up right now.
I never wanted, like, I never liked the idea of like I had friends that they'd bring their girlfriends skating, and I'd be like, oh my God. Like they want to be literally anywhere but here. Like
there is a trope of teach me how to skate. I mean, that is a trope.
But this isn't that. This is them coming out. Well, we're actually going and doing like actual like tricks and stuff like that. This isn't going around the lake or something like that. That's fine. That's something you can do together. But bringing them to a session where you're doing tricks on ledges and handrails where they just look bored because they're there because, you know, they spend all their time together. I was like, please no. Like, if a girl's like, take me skating with you, like, no.
But then they'll get all mad and
fine.
Like, why?
Fine. Is
there someone there you don't want me to see?
Yeah. I'd rather have that argument because at least it's traditional.
Traditional.
I'd rather have that argument.
It's trad.
It's a trad argument. I like it. There's a $20 one there from Gordon Shumway.
The Chiefs would actually love if they got married. Tom Brady was married to Giselle and she made more money than Tom. He would take pay cuts to play, and that helped the team. The Chiefs might hope Travis would do the same.
Yeah, but
he'll be living off of that Taylor Swift wealth treasure trove.
Travis Kelce is not Tom Brady level.
No, he's not.
No. But that's a very clever. Actually, that's very clever.
Giselle is not Taylor Swift level.
Yeah, that's a very clever like marketing tactic that the coach is in there like, yeah, she seems like your type, my friend. And like it's like the head office is basically saying we got to get this guy's to come down on his next contract because they always need more, right? They're like, look, if he'll take a pay cut to stay in Kansas City if he gets Taylor to marry him and move there, and then Taylor falls in love with Kansas City, which I doubt would ever happen, but it'd be interesting. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said, damn, Colin ought to become a pro skater because he sure skated around those questions. I'm sorry, I'll get my coat and see myself out.
He did. He skated very expertly around everything that was asked of him. Actually, not even all that expertly because
not that well, no.
But he did skate around them.
Shane H. Wilder said, as soon as they split up, expect to see a ton of Chiefs merch at Goodwill. Yep.
Good call, Shane.
Shane H. Wilder said, The Bachelor on steroids. I see what you did there. Yeah. Carnell said, as a resident of Kansas City, I'm currently witnessing city cringe firsthand over Travis and Taylor. The sheer amount of shirts that have been made over these two is insane. Please make it stop.
It's like we
there
really
are people wearing Traylor. Is it Traveler or Traylor?
We live in such I implore everyone, if you have two friends who are together that you really want to see together, make merch of them. Like, invest in your friends.
Is that not jinxing it?
Invest in your friends' lore, not the lore of Taylor Swift and her Pfizer loving football boyfriend.
Her Pfizer loving boyfriend. Yeah. Babe, I love you, but not as much as I love my Pfizer booster.
She's like, look, we've got to go. Like, I've got a concert. You've got a game. He's like, I got to get another booster, babe.
You know that. Boosted Yogi said, oh no, Taylor is in her athlete phase. She will definitely be costing someone a Super Bowl ring.
Yep, she's gonna jinx him. It's gonna be bad.
Kanye Diggett said, there's someone stealing people's gates. If you see him, don't say anything because he might take offense. You made a lot of people's day showing Willow. Thanks.
You happy to do so. And I see what you did there.
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio said Taylor Swift heard her own 2-minute warning. Look at images of Madonna at 33 and at 43. Taylor is 33. That horse face is going to assert itself.
As long as she doesn't do all of the unnecessary work that Madonna has done to her face.
Which it seems that she hasn't. But Madonna waited a while before going ham on the surgeries. And she did look relatively good in her 50s.
Yeah, I think Taylor will be fine as long as she lays. In fact,
But it's like crazy how Miley Cyrus has aged so quickly. And she's only 30 years old. Like she got the buccal fat removal and she got veneers, and now she looks really, really bad for her age.
Well, she also got really, really skinny when she looked better, like normal sized.
That too, but it's exaggerated by getting the fat surgically removed from your face at an age when it's supposed to still be there.
Yep.
And then you get these big horse teeth put in your mouth.
Yeah.
That it looks really bad on her right now. I hope that she can reverse it.
Dollclick has an interesting comment. It says Taylor just knows love is not real and isn't going to be dumped for a younger model. She's Leonardo DiCaprio, so she's going to become the.
Is she a doomer about love? Does she think love isn't real?
That would be even worse. That makes her songs even more dishonest.
Damn.
I'm kind of here for it.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if you go through that many breakups, how can you still believe?
Every time she writes one of these songs, she rolls her eyes really hard. She's like, ugh.
Not another one of these.
Ugh, God, it's the only thing these people want.
High Voltage 75 said, not a lot of men can match her net worth. If she cares about her man making more than her, it limits her options tremendously. I don't think she does. She's consistently dated guys who are not nearly as wealthy as her.
She would have to. I mean, she honestly probably have better luck too. If I'm being honest, she'd have better luck dating richer men that are not in the public spotlight.
But they're all way older than her. If she starts looking for guys that are richer than her, she's going to be looking at a pool of men in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't think she's
going to go who's the lady who married Al Pacino, or who had Al Pacino's kid?
Forget her name.
I forgot. She's pretty, but she's pretty though, and she's only 29.
Corey Anderson said, guess I am making an HCB Brett shirt. Oh no.
I don't know who
Let's not start with the shirts.
I don't know who Brett is with one T, but that's not a real thing.
Sketch Therapy said, objectively, frosted tips look good on Brett.
Look,
it's true.
Guys, you don't need to lie. It's fine. It's coming off soon anyways. We're getting to that end point.
No, just get it trimmed.
We're getting to the end point
and
here.
Leave some of the blonde on. It'll look good. Tacti Platy said Brett and Olivia Claire shirts inbound soon. Let's not start with the shirts. I don't know why you suggested the shirts.
That would be Brolivia. Or Bolivia, if you're a fan of the place Bolivia. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video? Would you subscribe to this channel? If you have not done that already, turn the notification bell on so that you can get notified every time we go live with an episode, and every time a segment goes up. It helps you catch our material when it comes out. Also, would you share these videos, these episodes with your friends so that more people can come in here, hang out with us? It would be a lot of fun, so please go ahead and do that. Thank you so much. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you want to follow, we got one more $2 super chat there from the last of my kind. He says, when renewing, check a box for what show you watch. Oh, when you're renewing your... Yeah, but most people, if you're talking about...
No one would do that.
Yeah, nobody would do that.
No one would go through the effort.
Plus, most people have their stuff on auto pay anyways. You're saying you want to renew once a month and have... Look,
you manually renew your Netflix.
Dude, there's nothing I hate more than when you get off a freaking call on some hold service and they have the audacity, the absolute temerity to be like, you fill out a short survey? Fuck no, I will not fill out a short survey. Kick rocks, bitch. I'm not doing that. That's disgusting.
Whoa.
That's like, no, it's like
language.
It's like when they do that shit where they're like, if you're on hold with a service and they're like, will you take a survey at the end of this call? I always feel like if I don't say yes, and I never say yes, like they're gonna make you hold longer if you don't agree to take the survey. Like they're just that petty.
It's a hostage situation.
Screw those people. It's awful. Guys, if you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. That's when we're here. We're here at 3 p.m. every day. That is noon Pacific. If you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. If you'd like to follow me, I'm at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Later, guys. And with 69%, they say that the whole deal between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is in fact a Psy-Op. 69% bros. Nice.